Hey, Slider Crusaders. So our president gave his final speech at the UN the other day. He said this.
Sometimes I'm criticized in my own country for professing a belief in international norms and multilateral institutions, but I am convinced that in the long run, giving up some freedom of action, not giving up our ability to protect ourselves or pursue our core interests, but binding ourselves to international rules over the long term enhances our security.
So I read the whole speech looking for any context that might make what you just heard any different, and there is none. Powerful nations like my own must accept constraints. Giving up some freedom of action, binding ourselves to international norms. What is he talking about? Here's the deal with where this comes from. There is a small but disproportionately influential part of our country that believes that America is a force for bad. They believe that when we act as a country, we make things worse. We are at our core evil. This is, and you see it a lot in our colleges and below, our founding fathers are racist slave owners. The Trail of Tears. America invented slavery, which most millennials believe is true. They believe America invented slavery. All we do is oppress. We are at our core evil. Most millennials today will learn two things about World War II. Japanese internment, and we dropped nuclear bombs on innocent people. Zero context given to either of those things. Now, if you believe that we are rotten to our American core, it's not a big step to then say, well, maybe we do need to conform to international norms. But if you know two truths, first, that America is a force for good in the world, and not just us, but Western values are a source of good and prosperity for the world and all people. And B, that the norm for the world is awful. And if you know those two things, then conforming to the world's norms make no sense at all. Now listen, America, of course, we've made mistakes. We're not perfect, but we are a force for good in the world. One of my favorite YouTube videos is of a World War II veteran in Normandy, just a couple of years ago, and a Frenchman was there. He wrote a letter, and he was going to give it to the first American veteran that he came across. We're going to put the whole video in the comment section, but this is just part of his letter, and after he read his letter to a veteran.
We had been waiting for you to come for a long time, a time which seemed unending, and then on June 6, 1944 came the sun. We still feel the emotion for Ryan's shoulders, who rested in peace in the cemeteries of Normandy. They who never knew the pride of victory, nor the joy of victory, nor the joy of newfound peace. Our freedom was paid for with sadness, suffering, and anger, and blood. It is for you, dear liberators, dear war veteran, friends, who would witness to the suffering and martyrdom which you underwent in the battlefield of Normandy and Europe, where a smell of death mixes with the earth. We will never forget your lesson of courage.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vous dites, nous n'oublions pas.
Bye.
Tell that Frenchman there that those American veterans are a force for evil. And there's a million stories like that we could obviously share. And finally, the norm for the world, the norm of human existence is poverty, tyranny, war, death, disease, genocide, oppression. That's the norm. We are the exception. Everyone's so darn spoiled these days. They have no idea how good we have it. I talked to an immigrant just the other day from the Philippines, and I asked her why she loves America, and she said three things: because you don't have to bribe police and politicians. If you work hard, you will live in peace and safety, and you get 3 meals a day. Those things are brand new to human existence. No one appreciates it, except for those who lived a part of their life without it. America is the light. We want it to be a brighter light. But the left believes that peace can only be achieved if America's put on a dimmer switch. All right, end of video. All right, I'm going to let you in on a secret experiment that we're doing right now. So if you comment on this video, and I hope you do, please put at the end of it in brackets, USA. Why are we doing that? Because I feel like we're getting a ton of comments from people who never watched the video. So you just made it through the whole video. So when you comment, put USA, and then we'll know who is commenting and never watched the video. We'll see what happens. End of every comment, in brackets, USA. I'll be on a little secret language.